and they're looking at it, and they'll edit it for me, send it back down, and then I'll go for my first inspection the end of July. Traceability is a big component of it. They want us to be able to call a customer up, say like Wakeford or Hannaford or even down the street in one of the markets, call up one of my customers and say, how much corn you got left for what we shipped you yesterday? They'll tell me how many boxes are left. I'll log that down, and then that's one step forward, and they want me to show them one step back minimum, but they want to be able to trace it back, that box of corn, to the field I planted it in, who packed it, what it went through after it was packed, and when it was hydro-cooled, they want to see what my chlorine count in the water was. They want to know what I sprayed it with. They want to know what day it was planted. They want to know what day it was harvested, who picked it, everything else, so that they have complete accountability of what happened to that box of corn. We do, in reality, on this farm, we already do all that. I have records from the day the seed goes in the ground to the day it leaves here. I can tell you everything that happened to it. What's going to add a little bit to us is we're going to now be required, all agriculture is going to be required to label every box. And probably by next year or the year after, it's going to have to be a bar-coded label. That barcode will have all that information on it already. So that's going to be a big thing there. We do label, but we don't barcode. That's another whole process. The other thing we have to do is, theoretically, next year, actually this summer, as soon as I submit my program, like today, before I can even talk to you, I'd have to have you all over here watching a video on safety for the farm, hygiene, the whole 9 yards. I have to sign you all in and sign you all out when you leave. So, I mean, we're going to have to do that with all our visitors. Yeah, it's the future. And, you know, you'd have to adhere to my company policy. Like when you walked in here, safety on the packing line, since there's so many moving parts in that, in my policy, I've put, you know, no dangling jewelry, you know, you can't, you know, no long earrings, no stone rings, no, you know, floppy clothes and stuff like that. So that's gotta, you know, so as a visitor, you have to comply with all that. It's kind of crazy. It's an extra burden to us that I'm sure we'll get used to it over time. But right now, I'm moaning and groaning a little because we have to have all the lights in here. Last year we spent $20,000 putting up this wire mesh through the whole place. And 3 years ago I put up these new lights, and now they're no good. I got to take them all down and replace them because for the birds. Yeah, we have to keep all the birds out. But
what other maintenance do you have to do on these large buildings?
well, normal everyday maintenance. I mean, you know, if somebody hit the post like there and broke it, we'd have to fix that up.
How often does that happen?
Nah, not too often. Thank God. I mean, we're pretty careful about people moving stuff around. The biggest thing is a daily maintenance when we're shipping. Every night when we're done packing, the whole place gets swept out and cleaned up, you know, and then that happens on it every day. That really won't change. Little stuff that we have to change, when we do sweep up, I have to keep a record of that and sign off on it. Every person that leaves the packing line to go to the restrooms over there, I have to have somebody log that they went to the restroom and washed before they came back in. And, you know, a lot of little, it's going to add, you're going to have a lot of expense added to produce nationwide. And it's good and it's bad. I mean, it's good because there are people that don't care and probably don't do. We already do all that. I just don't keep records of it, you know. Our restroom facilities for them are around the corner. The wash sink is right over here so that they can go to the restroom. They wash right before they come back in there. It's pretty easy. They're cleaned twice a week. They're inspected every day. Just now we got to start logging everything. Paper trail, paper trail, paper trail.
The GAP certification. What does GAP stand for, and like why do you?
Good agricultural practices.
Okay.
So it's, you know, and it's, the crazy thing is, you've got all the different labs. You've got like Primus, SQF, there's a bunch of other ones. Now Primus, they have their own set of rules. SQF, that's another whole beast in itself. That's for global GAPs, where you can go export, you know, worldwide, which we do some exporting. So that's, I don't know if I have to get involved in SQF or not. I really don't want to. That's a 2-day course just to take the actual course. It's like a pre-course to take the course. And you have to go through a schooling and everything else, and it's.
You said the labs, right? You said the labs. You have to send product to the labs?
No, they come here and inspect you.
Oh, they come here and
You pay
inspect.
for them to come in and check your place out. Now, USDA has their own set of rules. So it's like, you've got all this nonsense going on where everybody has their own set of rules, and certain customers want USDA, some want SQF, some want Primus. So somewhere along the line, we gotta get stability and come up with one set of guidelines that says this is where it's at, and if you wanna get whoever to come in and look at you, that's up to you.
Ultimately, it sounds like it hurts the farmer from doing his or her job, and obviously the smaller the operation.
That's where it's gonna kill you.
Yeah. And then the bottom line is what's driving this, all these outbreaks, that's basically it.
The food, you know, the food outbreaks, but the ones that, there's a big push now by the organic guys to be exempt. They wanna be exempt from all this.
They're full of compost.
Yeah. Yeah, they're the ones that use the compost the most, which, you know, and there's a lot of considerations that goes into this that you probably never even thought of. Number one, well water. We monitor all our well water. It's tested 3 times a year. So we gotta do that, big deal. The one you probably never thought about was irrigation water. And that's like out of the Esopus Creek. So now we have to test our irrigation water. And now New York State is trying to put a law into place that if we use 100,000 gallons or more of water a day, we have to start logging it as our water usage. And it doesn't sound like, it sounds like a real lot of water until we go to irrigate. And then we can bang out 100,000 gallons in less than half a day.
Wow.
You know, so
That's a lot.
yeah, you know, and then we have to log everything we do with it.
What's your irrigation system like? I mean, are you?
Come on down, please. We use all